Okay, and I think we're good to go. You have 1 more minute. And there are a number of attendees, but I don't know. We'll just have to call on them, Richard. I'm not sure who's who on the attendee list.
Yeah, it says 10 on my screen. So hopefully people who are early on the agenda come on board.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Okay,
Okay.
Dawn Marie, welcome.
I spoke to John's wife, and she relayed the message to him that we had quorum, so he could
Good,
keep working.
yeah. Because I sent him a note in response
Good.
to his question. I didn't know. So thank you. We have Paula on board.
So, Richard, it's 7:16. Would you like me to start the script?
Yeah, I think so. It takes us a couple of minutes to get started.
Okay. Good evening. The September 14, 2020 meeting of the Yarmouth Old Kings Highway Historical District Committee is about to convene. As a precautionary measure to reduce the spread of the coronavirus, this meeting will be held by remote participation. My name is Karen Green, and I'm the Director of Community Development for the town. I'll be serving as moderator for this virtual meeting. At this point, I'll turn it over to the committee chair.
Good evening. My name is Richard Gegenwath, and I'm chairman of the Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee for the town of Yarmouth. I will begin by taking a roll call to see if we have a quorum. Bob Wilkins,
Here.
Jane Hildebrand. Jane Hildebrand. Okay. Rosemary Nichols,
Here.
Paula Morrison,
Here.
John Stewart will not be here this evening. And I thought I saw Jane Hildebrand before.
She's here.
Huh?
Muted, Jane? No?
Okay, but we can't hear you. She knows.
Oh. Yeah, I had to play with the muting button down on the bar on the bottom on mine.
I think she's left the meeting and will be trying to come back.
Okay, so in the meantime,
Do you want me to,
we do have a quorum.
okay,
And therefore we will be able to call this meeting to order. It's now 7:19. And I'll ask the moderator to explain how the remote participation will work before we proceed further.
Jane, can you try speaking? No. Do you want to try calling in on the telephone? Okay, so pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020, order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, the Yarmouth Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access and participate in the proceedings as provided for in the order. Persons who would like to view this meeting while in progress may do so by joining this virtual meeting as an attendee or by viewing the live feed on the Town of Yarmouth YouTube channel. You may also listen to the meeting by dialing into the number provided on the notice of meeting. The meeting will also be posted on the Town of Yarmouth YouTube channel for future viewing. Please be patient as we work to overcome any technological changes for the virtual meeting. For all meetings, all audience participants will enter the virtual meeting muted. Participants will be unmuted when called upon to speak by the chair or moderator. If you are not speaking, please mute yourself to avoid unnecessary background noise. Clearly state your name each and every time prior to speaking. Do not use speakerphone or Bluetooth devices when speaking. All votes must be roll call votes. After a motion is made and seconded, the chair will ask for a roll call vote. Applicants and presenters. Applicants can use the raise hand button that's available in Zoom or press *9 on your phone to identify yourselves to the chair. The moderator will unmute applicants when they're called upon to speak during their portion of the agenda. Applicants should identify themselves by first and last name and their affiliation. Applications or presentations provided by the applicant may be displayed on the by the moderator if you ask to do so. If it appears the meeting cannot or should not proceed, the moderator will recommend that the chair request to continue the hearing to a later date and time. Public comment. During the portions of the hearing designated for public comment, the chair will ask if anyone in the audience has any questions or comments related to the item being heard. Members of the public may request to speak by selecting the raise hand button or *9 on their phone and waiting for the chair to call on them to speak. Members of the public recognized by the chair are asked to identify themselves by first and last name and affiliation for public record and then provide their comment. So with that, I hand the meeting back to the chairman.
Good. Thank you. There are 7 new applications for certificates of appropriateness that will be heard this evening in the order that was listed on the agenda. In addition, there will be 1 application that had been tabled at the previous meeting, and we'll deal with that after the 7 new ones. Please be reminded that our committee's main purpose is to review items for appropriateness and setting. The responsibility of the applicant to comply with the regulations of other town boards and departments, including building, conservation, engineering, health zoning, and sign inspector. You should know that there is a 10 calendar day appeal period starting once a decision is filed with the town clerk. Any person aggrieved by our decision tonight can appeal to the Regional Commission of the Old Kings Highway. And our office administrator will be happy to answer any questions you may have in regard to that process. So the first applicant is Mark and Joyce Mason, homeowners. Tom Tuketa is the agent for replacing windows and light fixtures at 36 Route 6A. Is Tom here this evening to speak for this? Or Mark, Joyce?
There's nobody with their hand up, Richard.
Mark, Chase, I see you're here. Can you hear us?
Oh, okay, they are on, Richard. The Masons, I think.
Yes.
I'll promote them to panelists.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry about that.
Promoted them to panelists. They're still muted.
Hey, Karen, it's Jane. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Jane. That's great. Thank you. There we go. Mark and Joyce Mason, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Fine. We got your application and everyone, it was sent out via the internet and pictures of the house and drawings, engineering drawings showing what you want to do. Um, I looked at them pretty carefully, and I didn't see any problems. I think the selection of windows that you have, and the selection of lighting fixtures is very much in keeping with our objectives of Old Cape Cod. So that's the light post is being shown now, examples of these from the vendor's literature. Mark, Joyce, did you want to say anything additional on this?
No, we were hoping it was pretty straightforward. The windows that we're replacing are virtually what we have, just more energy efficient, keeping the 6/6 window panes. And the windows, the smaller windows on the side is part of a bathroom renovation that we're doing. So we'll be eliminating one and moving 3 down a little bit further.
Mhm. On the back, there's some modification that was done sometime on the roof, which gave you room up above to put a couple of windows there. Is that right?
We just purchased the house, so I don't know when the windows were originally put in on the upstairs, but they did renovate, I believe, in the 90s,
Ah, okay,
which had 2 large additions put on at that time.
good. Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
The windows that part of this house is antique, was erected in around 1830.
Yes,
Are any of the windows that you're replacing windows that are on that portion of the house? And
yes,
do you know whether they are original?
they appear to be. I don't know for sure. But they are really starting to fall apart virtually. And the top 2 on the front and the bottom 2 on the front are proposed to be changed. Yes.
Are you aware that it's possible to rehabilitate antique windows and that frequently the rehabilitation can be cheaper than the replacement? And that because old growth wood is superior to wood that's available now, not that you're using wood, I don't, but that it might be something to consider to investigate having the windows rehabilitated rather than replaced?
I'm not aware of that. Our contractor is Tom Tuketa, who specializes in historical preservation. And he did not make that recommendation, so.
I have materials pertaining to the rehabilitation of antique windows that I'd be happy to supply to you and or him for your consideration. These old windows we're rapidly losing them, with the argument being that new windows are more energy efficient, but frequently with the addition of storm windows, either interior plexiglass storm windows or exterior, antique windows are, when they're properly cared for, actually superior to new windows. And so I would urge you and the contractor to consider that for the original windows on the house.
Okay, we'll certainly take a look at it, but these windows were going to eliminate the need for storm windows, which
I understand
we
that.
we thought that you would prefer, quite honestly.
Well, I live in an antique house, and an option for exterior storm windows, combination windows are frequently referred to, are interior plexiglass windows. They work very well, and they are completely invisible from the outside, from the street view.
Mhm.
And
Well, if you'd
I'm
like
very
to
happy
share,
to supply the information that's relevant to the rehabilitation of antique windows. It's a shame to lose these antique windows on antique properties, particularly conspicuous properties that are on Old Kings Highway on Route 6A.
Well, if you'd like to share that, we can discuss that with Tom and see how he feels we should move forward, but,
I'm very happy to share it.
okay.
Good. Okay, any other comments, questions from committee members? Do we have a motion?
I move to approve.
Should there be any amendments on that? Okay, do we have a second?
I would second, but I think the consideration should be given before the final decision is made. So
I would ask, if I could just ask you one thing, those windows are not immediately planned, so, but we're in the middle of a bathroom renovation that is left us in limbo until we got approval on the 3 side windows. So I would ask that maybe you consider taking the older windows out of this project so we may move forward with the bathroom renovation.
Excellent
That's,
suggestion.
right, that's a good idea. Okay, so, well,
So would the maker of the motion care to withdraw the motion in
Yeah.
favor of a modified motion?
Jane,
yes, I withdraw the motion.
good. Okay, so we'll have a new motion that will state that those older windows on the front of the house will not be part of the project at this point, and we can review them at another time. Okay, so that's what the motion should.
Okay, I move to approve with the stipulation that the front windows are not part of the application at this time. I second.
Okay, so that was Rosemary Nichols made the motion, Paula Morrison seconded. All in favor? Paula Morrison,
Aye.
Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
and Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
and Richard Gagenworth, aye. So that is approved with the stipulation that the other antique windows will be considered at another time, so this project will be able to move ahead. Good. Well, Mark and Joyce, as you go along, if there are any other changes that need to be made, let us know in advance so that we can see what they are and discuss them.
Sure.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, and I apologize for being late to join the meeting.
That's quite all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good. The next item then is concerned with a single-family dwelling, new one to be built at 47 Sisters Circle. The homeowner is Robert Bassel, and Timothy Johnson is the agent. Do we have Timothy or Robbie? No hands up?
Here,
Ah, good, okay,
I'm Tim Johnson, the agent.
great. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So we have up on the screen now the side elevations, the right elevation and the left elevation. And basically we have a house which has 6/1 windows. Here we have now coming up the rear elevation and the front elevation. And This is the plot plan. So the garage extends forward a little bit from the main house, and the driveway is on the left side of the front of the house. The territory out there is a little rolling, so there's some variation in the elevations. So if we can look at the first front elevation. Good. Okay. As you see, the windows are all 6/1. The windows in the garage, over the garage, which has a dormer on the left side of it, again, are 6/1 in the center, and then two side windows have grills in them, so it's just 6, period. I myself thought that having no grills in the bottom of that window looked a little strange, and I personally would recommend putting grills in that so it's a 6/6 setup. Everything else is the front. Looks good. The garage doors, I take it are plain garage doors, Tim?
That's kind of like a preliminary sketch. She hasn't fully decided, but it would be more of a authentic colonial style.
So like a 4 panels,
Yeah. That was just for the drawing.
okay,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
I'm looking at the two windows to the left of the front door, and they seem, I don't know if they're cottage windows or what, but they seem longer than the two on the other side. And I don't know, it just seems to throw off that line a little bit unless that part of the house is more forward than the other side, but they're definitely longer than the two on the right.
It looks like the architect almost drew a sill on those versus the other ones don't. So that's just a drawing mistake.
Okay,
They're definitely all the same size on that front elevation.
okay.
Because it depends on what's going on in the rooms, because sometimes people put, as you see, there's a difference between the first floor and the second floor, which is often done. And they make the windows bigger in, say, a living room or a great room. And then over to the right, that could be in a kitchen or something else. And so they wouldn't want this large expanse of glass there. Could you move the picture over a little bit to the left? No, the other way. Sorry. Yeah, so you can see more. I can't, maybe it's, okay, I moved this over here. Yeah, so this two group of windows on the right side could be in a library or some other room and disconnected really from what's going on between the garage and the front door.
I have a question in regards to the windows. The customer is requesting, or the owner is requesting black painted windows. Is that something that you guys would pass, being that it's not off 6A? I know you guys cringe hearing that.
Right. We've been getting a lot of black lately, almost like 50%
Yeah.
coming into us. And there is another one already out on Sister Circle.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem in this location.
All right, here's the next one, black gutters.
What's the trim going to be? It's white, isn't it?
White trim, yeah, all white AZEK trim with Cape Cod gray shingles.
Yeah, I'd prefer to see white downspouts and gutters.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they kind of hide, if you will.
I agree with you. He just wanted me to ask to see if it was okay.
Yeah, we've done one in the last 25 years, I know
Yeah.
of.
Yeah,
But architecturally, I think if you have white trim, there's going to be a lot of white across the front of the house. And
yeah, I agree.
they sort of disappear.
So black windows is okay. The black gutters, you guys do not approve?
Don't go for black.
Okay.
The windows would be okay as far as I'm concerned. See what the other members think.
Yeah, I think there have been several new new houses that have the black windows that look very nice and very in keeping with the Cape Cod style.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me.
Yes.
I'd like to play devil's advocate on the array of windows over the garage doors. There's a logic to having the central window being 6/1, and as all the other windows are 6/1. And I'm concerned that if we add grills to that lower section of the central window, that array is going to start to look busy. I actually kind of like the array the way it is.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that's why we're here, so people have a chance to speak up. Great. Okay, you want to look at some of the back view? Okay. I think they'd all look pretty good too. Nice grouping of windows up and down. And the left and right view. Good. Good. Yeah, so it's very consistent all around then with the smaller windows and the larger windows. Double hung. Good.
Are those casement windows to the left of the leftmost pair?
Yeah,
Above the bulkhead, yes.
yeah, that's the casement. That's the notation, the way it opened.
I just was confirming that's what I thought.
Yeah, the dotted lines. Good. And these smaller windows up above are awning windows, I would guess.
Correct.
Good. Okay, materials listed on the spec sheet were good. And does Tim want to say anything else on this?
One thing that there was question about was the utilities, like the AC condenser. We're going to be placing that all in the rear of the home.
Uh,
The gas line meter, all that, etc.
okay,
Besides that, typical Cape Cod gray siding, AZEC trim boards, white trim boards. Yeah,
yep,
typical Cape Cod house.
yeah. Okay, do I hear a motion on this?
I think it's very nice. I move to approve.
I'll second. This is Jane.
Good. So we had all in favor on this? We take a vote on approval. All in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Gegenworth. So it's unanimous. Thank you. And again, Tim, if there are any changes made to this as you go along, oftentimes people start moving windows all over the place and so on as they start framing.
Yeah,
So let us know if there
of
are
course,
changes in advance.
of course.
Because when I go out to do a inspection, I don't want a lot of surprises.
All right,
Great.
no problem. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good night now.
Take care.
Okay. The next item is concerned with getting some wood frame screens to a pre-existing porch at 482 Route 6A. Richard and Susan Connor are the owners, and hopefully one of them are with us tonight. We have Richard.
I see that Mr. Karen has his hand up, but I don't see either of the Connors. Would you like to allow Mr. Karen to speak? I'm not sure what it's about.
Yeah, maybe he's for them or something.
Yeah, that I don't know. Mr. Karen, you're promoted, but we can't hear you yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
Are you here to speak on 482 Route 6A?
No. I'm here for my house. I just want to build a shed. I'm on 119 Cranberry Lane.
right.
Yeah, the committee isn't quite to that agenda item. But they will get to you.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I apologize.
Oh,
That's
no
okay.
problem.
Yep.
I'll just wait my turn.
Good. So, looks like the Connors are not here. And we didn't get anything saying that we should look at it on their behalf. So suspect we'll have to table this to the end of the meeting, and hopefully they'll come on in the meantime before we sign off tonight. So, a motion to table.
I move to table the application for the Karen's property.
I second
Second.
Rosemary.
Rosemary seconded and Jane made the proposal. So all in favor, Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
and Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Gegenwarth. So we will table it and move to the next item, which is concerned with repainting the shingles only, it says here, at 46 Lookout Road. And the color is to be bracken cream. Homeowners are Raymond Doherty and Lynette McCloy. Anderson and Sons Painting is the agent. We have a picture of the house up on the screen at this point.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I don't know, is there anybody in the audience to speak on this project at 46 Lookout Road? Because I do not see anyone with a appropriate name or anybody with their hand up. So would you like to table this one as well?
Yes, I'm afraid we're going to have to. Yeah, there was a question on this. The whole house looks like it's shingles, but it may be, I didn't personally go out to the site today. It could be that the front, very front, has clapboard, because it appears in the picture that it might be shingles. As we blow it up, yeah, it still looks shingly, except the thing is that it might be the different weather. It's like a 4-inch versus a 5-inch on all the cedar shingles at Clearly. Most of the house is cedar shingles that had been painted at one point and is sort of coming off here and there. And could be that what they want to do is all the cedar shingles and leave the clapboard alone. So I think we'll table it.
I'll move to table till the end
I'll
of the,
se- I'll second Paula.
All in favor, Rosemary Nichols,
No, that was Bob first and then Paula. I think.
to get approval. So I'm asking for us to vote on the table. And Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Kegenworth. So we unanimously will put that off to the end of the meeting. Now, the next item is concerned with exterior painting. And this is at number 8 Merchant Avenue, which is right around the corner from me. And the homeowner is Bob and Stephanie Fredette. We had looked at this at the last meeting briefly to get a consensus on it. And I don't know if Bob or Stephanie are on.
Yes, well, we're here, Richard.
Great, good.
So we're staying with the Benjamin Moore historic colors. The siding is going to be Lennox tan, which is the HC 44. The trim is moving to Monterey white, which is the HC 27. And the front door is going to be that blue that you see, which is Hamilton blue, which is HC 191. And once again, it's all Benjamin Moore historic colors.
Right, great. Yeah, I think, we all agreed that there was a pretty good combination of colors last week.
Great.
So do we have a motion on this?
I think it's a big upgrade. I move to approve.
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Kegenworth. Aye. So-
Richard, I'm sorry, I didn't hear who seconded that.
Jane.
Jane, thanks.
It was Jane.
Good. So, usually we say that if you're going to make any changes, let us know in advance. And it's moving along pretty well. And I don't anticipate any changes. But see, if you want to make any changes later, Bob, let us know.
Yes, thank you all for your approval. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Good night now.
Have a nice night.
Thank you. Okay, the next item is now Mr. Caron. And it's at 119 Cranberry Lane. He wants to put in a 10 by 12 shed. So Lori, Mark was speaking a few minutes ago.
Yes, I'm
Mark
here.
is, there you go.
So this is a job.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Mark, this is
Yeah.
homemade? Going-
Yes.
Good,
I'll be building it myself, yes.
right. And looks like the pitch is 8 on 12.
Yep,
And clapboard on the front facing the street and shingles all around.
correct.
And the colors will match the house, basically.
Exactly, yes.
Good. And there's a window on the left side and just a door on
Yep.
the side. So I don't think, and the location on the property seems to work pretty well. It's back from the house a bit
Correct.
to the side, so it's not very visible even. We have a motion on this.
I move to approve. This is Jane.
A second, Paula.
Good. All in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jen Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Gageworth. Aye. Good. So, Mark, good luck with your construction. We've had some pretty good weather, so hopefully you'll have good weather to do this job.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Good. And any changes in design, location, and so on, let us know in advance.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thanks for your approval. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Okay, now we have one last item here, which is replacing a railroad tie wall with a natural stone wall. It's 3.5 feet high and 90 feet long. So it's a substantial amount of rocks that are going in there. 301 Mayfair Road. The homeowners are Richard and Paula Fagan, and John Martin Excavating is the agent listed here. Do we have them present, or maybe John Martin?
I think that
Hi, can you hear me now?
Fagan, are you here, Mr. Fagan?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi there. Yes. Just myself, no agent.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of stones you're going to be using, and it's going to look beautiful when it's done.
Thank you.
The pictures that you were showing it here, type of stone that will be used, and it's very Cape Codish, and it's a long wall there, but it's going to look really good. And the wall that's being replaced was getting a little tired,
Very tired.
so it's a good time to do it. There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, those railroad ties have kind of like a 20 or 30 year life expectancy.
I think these are the originals from back in the 80s.
Yeah, so that's almost 40 years, right? Good. Okay, so do we have a motion on this?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second Rosemary.
Great. For the approval, Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and Richard Gagenworth. Aye. We have unanimous, and wish you very good luck doing this job.
Thank you. And thanks for the help and thanks for your service.
You're welcome.
All right, good night.
The background.
My son-in-law. We'll have to put him to work.
Good. Many hands make light work.
That's right. Take care now. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Okay. We continue down. The next item is Mark Chase is a homeowner, and Millwood Signing and Trim would be the agent, and is to reside put new siding on the whole house at 21 Drake Street.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
did we skip one?
I'll go back to that.
Okay.
The, this was on the agenda last time. We discussed quite a bit. And we've all had time to go out to the site, which a lot of people had done that earlier. But to relook at it and look at the house next door, which is number 25 Drake Street. And I also went up to INS to look at samples there. And they brought a sample into the office, which I saw this afternoon. And I think, Rosemary, you stopped by as well.
Yep.
I spoke to the homeowner next door when I went down there one Sunday morning, and he happened to be going out his driveway just as I was blocking his driveway. So we chatted, very, very nice guy. But when we approved his house, we had approved a different brand, and he ended up putting the same type of siding on that was asked for this house, which is, we got 555 so-called shingles from Ply Gem, which is master company is Mastic Siding. And that's what ended up on number 25. They did not use Certainteed cedar impressions. We had approved of the cedar impressions because we had seen it on some other buildings, not in the historic district, but had seen it and it looked very realistic and seemed kind of substantial. You could knock on it and it sounded like wood. It sounded pretty solid. And turns out they're a little thicker. The Ply Gems are about 20% thinner material. And the projection is a little bit more too. So in my examination of this, I still am feeling that the Certainteed so-called cedar impressions shingles look better, are more solid, and they also have higher wind speed capability. So they end up being in the same range, like 145 miles an hour or so. The individual ones are good at 250 miles an hour. That's each shingle looks like a regular shingle that you're nailing on. And then the panels that they put on 3 rows at a time have a little bit lesser, in the range of 150 or so. So I don't know what the price difference is of these. Usually that doesn't really come into our thinking.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
this is Mark Chase. I haven't looked at the Certainteeds because I know when I talked with a builder that I'm an electrician. So when I talked with one of my builders about those Certainteed, I think they're more like an individual plastic shingle. And the price was exorbitant for those things.
Uh-huh.
Maybe the wind speed is a little bit higher, but I haven't seen anything over 150 miles an hour here. Not that it can't happen, but
Well, they also make a triple 5-inch version, which
mhm. Well, when I gave you the sample to look at, and I did look at it myself again because, you know, it's been a little while since I had looked at it. And I was actually impressed with the fact that each shingle that's in that group is not the same texture. So it really looked pretty realistic to me.
yeah, no, that's
Um,
true.
One was a little coarse, but there was no shine to it. It wasn't a shiny shingle or anything.
Yeah,
But it definitely didn't have the same texture on each shingle that was next to it beside each other, you know?
right. No, yeah, they have saw cuts and everything
Yeah,
in there. And both of the manufacturers do the same thing. It's just that I think the cedar certainteed. It's a little deeper so that those markings, saw marks mostly.
yeah, but it could be about 2 or 3 times the price too, so.
Yeah, I don't know. They look quite good on the house next door, and I don't know what, have you, other members of the committee done any research on this?
I think Rosemary saw it.
Yeah, she saw it.
Mhm. I saw them in the office and on the house, and I think they look good. And I think that particularly because you're right on the water, that the vinyl would probably hold up better than the actual cedar.
I one other comment on it. If we using either one, actually, whether you use certainty or plastic, the way it was done at number 25 Drake Street, the trim on the windows and doors is aluminum, and it's over, and it doesn't look like wood. The trim looks like a piece of aluminum that's stuck on top of these, and so there's a big gap where they come together.
Mhm.
That's something that going back 25 years, we've been telling people when they put up vinyl sidings, say clapboards on the front of a house, that they should have it done so that it butts up against the wood. So if you have a 1x4 trim board with a door or window, the shingles should butt up against it. You shouldn't have an aluminum flashing.
Yeah, I got AZAC trim on my house, so.
Yeah, so you want to go right up to it and
Yeah.
it look like real wood all the way around. And so that is a must. And it'll end up looking better than your neighbor's house. But I didn't say anything to him. I don't know if he's tuned in tonight, but when he was very cordial and explained things to me and what he's doing on the inside of the house as well. He invited me in to look at it, which I didn't go because my wife was out in the car waiting for us. But
Yeah, he's a very nice guy.
yeah, so and it does look good, but if you get up close to it, then you see all these little problems. Your house has a lot more windows, I think, on the front of it and all around. So there's going to be a lot of short pieces involved, and it's got to be done right.
Well, the guy that's doing it, Steve Millward, he's done several houses with this stuff, and he came highly recommended by Hobby Industries, who sells this stuff.
Right, that was up to
When I asked who they recommended, there was no question about this guy. He said he's a perfectionist, and I said, well, so am I. So thank you for that referral.
Good.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
First of all, I appreciate your giving us the history of 25 Drake, and especially the fact that the material used there was not the approved material. So just for the record, there's not an equivalency here between the two properties. We could nitpick if we wanted to and say that 25 grade constitutes a violation since it wasn't the approved material.
right.
So that takes that consideration off the table in my mind, that we
Oh,
have
yeah, yeah, they're separate issues here.
separate issues totally. And that's really all I want to say about this. I tried to go and look at the samples, and it's difficult in this day and age of COVID.
Yeah, the COVID-19.
I tried on Friday, I tried again today, and it wasn't successful. But so I don't have the benefit of having actually, I'll take it on faith that it's the same material that was used at 25 Drake, but since that wasn't approved, it would be nice to see the other material that you think is better, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah,
And the fact that it's more money is consideration for the homeowner, but it's not a consideration for us.
yeah. Good. Okay, do we have a motion on this at all at this point?
I move to approve. Rosemary?
We have a second on this?
Okay.
In making the motion, Rosemary, could you include comments on how it's put up relative to finishing off where the shingles are meeting the trim around the house?
Yes, I move to approve the shingles as submitted with the addition of the requirement of wood or AZEC trim.
Second.
Do I hear a second now?
Jane was the second.
Jane, good, okay. Well, I'll ask for a roll call on this again. We have Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Abstain.
okay, Paula Morrison,
Abstain.
okay. Richard Gegenwath, I'll vote for it. So we have 3, 4, and 2 abstentions. So that is a go. Mark, and thank you for what you've done, to bringing the samples in, etc.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will, this guy that does the installation, he is really busy and he actually can't even do it till next year, but I know it takes a while to go through the permitting process, so I wanted to get that started. But I am gonna check out those certainties and I will check those out too.
Yeah, you can see them on those buildings if you're familiar with them. It's a group of 4 buildings on Route 28. They tore down an old motel and put them up. And
Where on Route 28 is it?
yeah, you might call it West Yarmouth there, but
Okay.
there's like
Was there an address?
6, I don't know the address. Karen might yell it out, but it's groups of 4 or 8 or 6 apartments in a building. So it stands out there, same color as this, actually.
Okay.
gray, and there's adequate parking. You can park and look up to them, take a good look up close.
I will, and I'll even talk with the installer about these. He's probably done these too.
Yes, I spoke to the building department superintendent this afternoon, actually, and he was familiar with that job very well because it's a big one.
Mhm.
And he knew what they had put up, so.
Well, I thank you for approving this, and I will check out that product too. And I mean,
Okay.
if I agree with you and stuff, and I want to go that route, I don't think I need to get approval again, right? Because it's a step up, right?
Probably, right.
Okay,
Good. But do it within a year.
I'm trying to, yeah. If I can.
Our approvals are good for a year.
I told him, I said, you don't want to do this job in the winter time. It is cold out here.
Right, oh yeah, in your place. Good, okay, thanks again.
Well, thank you all for your consideration. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
Bye now.
Now, if we go back one step here, Kevin and Marianne Crowley, we're going to redesign the upstairs second floor addition at number 2 Boulder Circle. And they haven't been able to finish their design. So Dawn spoke to them today, and they will be ready for next meeting, I believe. If Dawn, if you know anything different from that, speak up. But
No, that's right. When I was reviewing the meeting, the previous meeting, that's what the committee had decided, to let them revise the plans based on your feedback and submit in time for the September 28th meeting.
okay, so we'll see them then. Now, if we go back, we tabled 2 items.
There's been no change to the audience, Richard, so neither the Connors, which are item number 3,
Right,
or the folks from 46
Lookout.
Lookout Road, number 4, I don't believe they're here. We can ask if there's anyone in the audience to please raise your hand. There's a couple of viewers, but I don't think it's the folks.
It's a shame that we didn't hear from them and give us permission to vote for them. But the first one, the Connors, is so straightforward and very clear what they want to do. The other one, at Lookout, it's not clear what they want to do, so we really need to discuss it with them. So we'll table both of them to the next meeting. So let's go through the tabling procedure. Do I have a motion to table to the next meeting on item number 3?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins, and Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, aye. Okay, we'll move to the next item on Lookout Road, item number 4 on the agenda. Have a motion to table to the next meeting.
I'll move to table it to the next meetings, Paula.
Good. Second?
I'll second.
Seconded.
So, Bob second. All in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Jane Hildebrand,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Gegenworth, aye. So we'll, as it stands right now, I believe we have 4 items on the next agenda. So having 2 more won't be too much of a burden. We have a couple of, we haven't really worked out how we're going to deal with violations. I came across the violation on North Dennis Road. The house that we approved of maybe 2 meetings ago, which had black windows, was a corner house number 2, I think Flat Rock Road, which is, it's a corner lot with North Dennis Road. And the other corner is number 1. And number 1 painted their front door a light blue. It looks like a robin's egg blue. And it looks out of place in a historic scene. And it looks out of place on their house, which has a white front and black shutters. So I'm going to be contacting the painter. His telephone number is listed there. And talk to him about it. And we may have to. So in the meantime, if you're out and driving around town, if you drive southbound on North Dennis Road, it'll be right in front of your nose, stands out. So take a look at it and get a feeling for it. We haven't heard anything further about 112 Route 6A, which had been denied last time, and they still have some time to appeal if they're going to. So no news on that one. Okay, I open it to any other comments, other business that someone may.
Just on the subject of the rehabilitation of antique windows,
Yes.
I could circulate that information to the committee as well. I think that that had already been done some time ago.
Only a couple of months ago, I think.
Yeah. But if I have more from Historic New England or one of the other preservation nonprofits, I can also circulate that. And then, Don Marie, if you can provide me, how do I get the information to the homeowners? Through you, or what do you suggest?
Well, if you,
Yeah, you can certainly, if it's, you know, kind of bulky material, you can drop it in the blue bin outside the side door of Town Hall, you know, the side that faces the police barracks.
Probably do it through email. I probably could do
yeah,
it.
email.
You do it through email, that's great.
Yeah, they can print it out themselves.
Who shall I send it to?
You can send it to, oh, you know what, send it to OKH
Okay.
at yarmouth.ma.us.
Okay.
And then you can forward it.
Because the other email address that you have for me is my home email
yeah.
from when I was on the committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I'm not so good at checking that email. Sorry.
And we'll send out, we'll have Grace send out an email sometime soon. We've been using the OKH in the interim and it's actually working pretty well. So I think we'll be looking at how to keep using that. But Grace also has her own email that she can use for corresponding with the committee. And we'll just get her the committee list. We have that, and then you can reach her directly. And Don Marie and or Grace can forward out that information, Robert, that you email in
Okay.
the homeowner.
Okay.
Good.
That was item number 1, right?
Yes. That's right.
Masons, yes.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Bob, because if that could be done on the there's only 4 windows, but they're prominent. And it'd be really nice to save them if possible.
The reason why these windows last 200 years.
Mm.
Yeah, because they're well made when they make them
Yeah.
a long time ago. Good. Okay, so we can adjourn. We have a
I
motion.
just want to, if I can just mention one other thing, I forwarded to you guys something from the town planner, Kathy Williams, about
Yes.
visioning process for the town.
Yes. Yep.
I just want to make sure everybody checks their email and participates if you can, because it's important.
Good. Okay.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Bob moved to
Rosemary.
adjourn. Rosemary, second. No, we'll take a roll. call.
Sorry.
Rosemary Nichols. Aye. Jane Hildebrand.
Aye.
Bob Wilkins.
Aye.
Paula Morrison.
Aye.
And Richard Gegenwath. Aye. So thank you all. Meeting went quite well. I think it's unfortunate that these other people didn't get tuned in. They might have been easy to take care of. So we'll see them next time. Good. Okay. Good night.
Good night.
And everybody,
Good
thank
night.
you.
Good night.
Good night.